Being vulnerable is hard, right?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
This is It Stays Between Us, a podcast where we normalize vulnerability in our relationships, ourselves, and our creative processes.
This is a safe space and everyone's welcome here. Let's talk vulnerability because here it stays between us.
Hi guys, welcome. Woo!
Hello.
Episode 5 of It Stays Between Us.
As you guys can see, me and Dom are sharing one mic today because or if you're just listening, we are sharing one mic. So if one of us cuts out, then that's probably what's happening in your headphones or in your speakers right now. But yeah, this is all happening because we have a very special guest today.
Yes.
Drum roll.
I already made some noises before, some hellos and yeses. So
yes, we have Phil on our podcast today.
hello.
We are going to be interviewing him, but we first just want to chit chat and just catch up with you because I feel like I haven't seen Dom in a while, and also we haven't seen you in a while. So yeah, episode 5. Oh God, here we go.
We don't even know what number we're on.
Yeah, I don't even know what date it is.
Well, thank you guys for just having me. I appreciate it. I don't know how. I mean, I've seen so many podcasts, and I've been an avid podcast listener. However, being on one is.
Wait, what kind of podcast do you like to listen to?
His name is Drew. I think Alfonso. Don't quote me on any of all this.
Drew.
I don't know. Just he's a gay. So he's wonderful. Even like a Call Her Daddy podcast is wonderful.
I love that podcast.
Yeah. So just your casual stuff.
How does it feel being on a podcast?
It's nerve-wracking. I'll be honest, a little bit. Yeah, but
How so?
Well, you never know what's gonna come out of anyone's mouth. Really, it could be some really spicy stuff.
We're gonna ask you all of the juicy questions.
All the juicy hot goss. Yes, I love it.
No.
No, but yeah,
Nothing too
I'm grateful either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Phil. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
So, connection to Phil. Phil is actually the owner of Lighthouse Studios. We're gonna...
Yeah, I love how you always add
I know.
I'll put this
I'll put it in and then I don't put it in.
Right, which is okay.
and we're just all pointing to a blank
Something.
space. Yeah.
To the big man upstairs.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Whoever. Yeah.
That's so good.
Phil, what's kind of been going on in your life? Do you have anything that you want to share? Like anything fun, anything new? It's holiday season.
It is holiday season.
How is that?
It's wild. You can feel the energy in the air.
Yeah.
And being the owner of this space has its busyness in its own right. But I work 2 retail jobs too. And so that in itself, it just keeps me busy. And so as boring of an answer it might sound, nothing is happening to my life. It is
Work.
It is, and it's just that, right? People are like, how do you have, people always ask me all the time. They're like, how do you have time for yourself? And I'm like, that's a great question.
We should
Yes.
get into that a little bit later.
Yes.
I think we were talking about how we all went to go see Wicked.
Yes. Well,
Except for
I
Dom in
haven't
the
seen
middle
it yet,
has not
no.
seen the movie.
most of us. How did you like it?
I loved it.
It was cute. Huh?
I loved it. I did not expect.
No spoilers.
No, we won't say any spoilers. Yeah, even though that it's been a story out for a while. I'm surprised you haven't.
All I keep seeing on my TikTok is a bunch of spoilers, and I did watch a full rundown of what happens in the part 2 of the play and the movie, so I do kind of know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
But I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah. There's some rumblings, but no, I really enjoyed it. Didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did.
No, me either.
The first song, I was like, this is good. This is good.
You're
I was sat.
Something's happening.
I was eating my popcorn and my peanut M&Ms and my Nerds gummy. I was a whole spiel. It was a whole spread.
You had a whole spread.
Yes, it was great.
I'm not the type of person to have snacks.
And why is that?
I don't know. I'd rather
no fun.
I don't
for
like.
you.
Yeah, no, just all strictly there just for the movie.
You're not the one to because
I
there's
don't like
movie theaters that have food.
Yeah.
And you're not
Maybe
also
that's
that.
okay. I just don't like popcorn, and I don't really eat candy. so it's like I don't.
So what
But I
snacks
li-
do you like to enjoy?
At the movie,
No, just in general, because
in
then you can
general,
bring those
I
snacks
eat, like,
to the
a
movie.
lot of like
Wait, like
gluten-free
dried fruit.
granola. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. You know, we don't judge. What is that new trend happening? We listen, we
listen
don't
with-
judge.
Don't judge.
Yes. That's very good and very
Yes.
healthy of
Yeah.
you. I love it.
It's nice because I'll come into the studio and I'm like, I'm hungry. He's like, you want a gluten-free granola bar?
Tastes like
Always
cardboard.
on lock. Yes.
Yeah. That's wild. I have some ice chips, you know, forming right now.
Yeah. Some ice chips. You want some of that?
That's so funny.
But yeah, not a big snack person at the movies, just because I don't really like eat that much junk food.
'Kay.
But yeah, I love like the meal stuff, like the ones that have like the full-on meals. Like, I'll
Yes.
do that. I'm down for that.
Yeah. There was a time when I was watching Inside Out too, as you can see my maturity
Cute.
level on that.
No,
But it was great. Loved
It's
it.
a good movie.
Anxiety gave me
It's cute,
anxiety.
yes.
Yeah.
Anxiety was giving me anxiety.
It was not an enjoyable movie. I was
No.
stressed
No.
the whole time.
Yes.
But what was great about it was that I was just, you know, eating my popcorn, eating my pizza rather.
Oh, there you go.
But then someone in the audience that I didn't know gifted me some peanut M&Ms, and I was like, oh, look at that. And they're like, this is from seat B2, and I said, perfect,
It
amazing.
was closed, like,
Yeah, it was closed.
Oh.
I made sure. I mean, I didn't eat it.
here you go, have some.
Right, because
Yeah,
there could be
thank you.
razor blades in them. You never know.
You're
Right.
Like, I'm starting to feel
Yeah.
really dizzy.
Yeah, right. But it was such a great gift. I was like, come on, B2, you know, wherever you may be in
there you
the
go.
in the vicinity
Your
there.
secret, like, admirer, I guess.
Yeah,
Or
from
they're just
afar.
gifting You, yeah. Getting that. Yeah, that's pretty lucky. I don't think that's
It was pretty special. I liked it. It was like, ooh.
Your movie experience.
For free?
Yeah. No, but what I was going to say about Kristen Chenoweth, because I really want to go back to Wicked. Because if you guys haven't yet seen Kristen Chenoweth on TikTok, she makes desserts.
Does she?
She does. Well, and that's the thing, right? I didn't think that she could.
Wait, and so that is which one? Glinda or
Glinda.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
the blonde one.
Okay.
Yes,
And
she's
on the Broadway.
yes.
So, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay.
And I don't actually know why I'm bringing this up, to be honest, but she makes
sure.
the worst desserts because she doesn't really know how to cook.
Oh.
And it's so entertaining. And anytime she's like tells her person behind the camera to like cut, he doesn't cut in time, so it's just her just saying cut, and it's like 5 seconds after,
Us
and
when
then it's
we-
just
us when we edit back this video.
yes, just cut the camera.
The cameras, cut the cameras.
Yeah, but she's out there doing the most, and I love her for that. Honestly,
Who was your favorite character in Wicked?
great question. Is his name Jonathan Bailey?
Yes.
The-
yes. Love of
Sorry,
my life.
but he's
Wait,
gorgeous.
which one is that?
He's in
The
Bridgerton.
Oh, okay.
the dancer.
Yes.
And yes, I mean,
He's
gorgeous to look at.
cute.
I was
Oh my
like, and
God.
he's a great voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know that he could sing. That's
Yeah,
so funny.
yeah.
That's so funny.
I would say him.
I have like a small confession, guys. I've never seen The Wizard of Oz.
What were the movies that you were watching as a child?
I watched a lot of The Walking Dead as a
'Kay.
child. I have a lot of fears about
Yes.
the world just kind of,
Ending. Yes.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna try to edit like a little
I
explosion.
was gonna say splash. I was like, nothing is
Edit like a
splashing.
zombie behind.
Yeah. That is
Yeah,
actually kind of
that's
crazy.
what-
Literally right
that's
here. Just comes up. Well, The Walking Dead is pretty good though.
Yeah, I should not have been watching that at like 9.
I kind of
though.
faltered off. I'll be honest.
I've never
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay, well we can't say anything.
you
about that.
guys
I'm
are just
sorry.
I mean, with the snacks, with the shows.
We complete each other though.
Yes.
That's
we
like
compliment
Yeah.
each other, which is really, really
People
fun.
are always shocked that I have never seen Mean Girls. That's one classic. Yeah, I know.
You're lying.
I
You?
swear.
That's
I
a
swear.
lie.
The only scene I've seen was the
That-
candy bar scene, I guess, where she
Candy
eats
bar.
a. Now, was it a candy bar?
She's like,
She was like, it's to lose weight or something,
oh,
and then she like, and then I don't know,
only
she
wanna
eats
lose
more.
30 pounds.
Right. Yeah. Anyways, well, that tells you how much I know. Yeah, I've never seen that one. No, I'm trying to think if I watched any problematic shows, but not problematic, but like
That's crazy though. I cannot believe it.
Phil, what are you saying about yourself? Huh? I'm just kidding.
I'm perfect, actually. No, but it was funny because I used to really enjoy watching. Now, this is the lore of Phil. And here comes Honesty
Share,
Hour.
share.
And it's such a stupid story. I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. But I used to watch NASCAR. Period.
Oh, really?
I know, I did. Because I like to collect things. And so my dad, when I was like 4,
Like the
gave
Hot
me a
Wheels?
replica version of a car. Okay, whatever.
That's
And
really cute.
so I loved cars, right? And so when RuPaul's Drag Race, yeah, it's a hard turn into another direction. You thought, how is the connection is happening
Took
here?
it a whole complete
He was like, he knew how much I really liked just cars in general, racing, okay, whatever. And he was like, Phil, this show is called Drag Race, but
It's
do
bad.
not click it. It is a bad show. And
Oh
so
my
but
God.
like as a young child, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, period, I
Yeah.
won't. But I did. I clicked it, and I was so confused because I didn't know what a drag queen was
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
But I was like, he was right. I was like, this is weird, But now it's one of my favorite shows. So
That's so funny.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
So I guess you could say that's one little thing that I was like a rebel
Yeah.
about. Yeah,
That's a funny connection to have. Of
yeah. You thought how's NASCAR and then Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race.
I love how he was like, do not click on this show.
Yeah, I took
It's
things
not
to
about cars.
yes, I took things to heart very seriously
That's
when he
so
told me. He was like,
funny.
Phil, don't take any candy that looks like a smiley face or a Spider-Man, or like he was talking about like those hardcore drugs, and I was like, perfect, no Spider-Man candy, and I
None for
stand
me.
by that. I really
That's
do.
so funny.
Yeah.
I think every queer kid has something in their like browser history growing
Yes.
up that they were like, I don't know how. Dad, I don't know how girls were kissing on the screen. I don't know how that got
Yeah.
there. I don't.
Definitely, yes. Definitely.
Have you seen that video of the kid who's like, I was searching on the internet and my pants were down because I got scared because of a computer virus. And I was like, he's very intelligent for thinking about a computer virus. He got scared. The pants were down.
Yeah.
And but nothing. Yeah.
Around the internet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, listen.
No,
I know you're curious.
I was searching around the mom.
Jeez.
All of a sudden, I was downloading this thing, and I got a computer virus. When I was getting out of my chair, my pants were slipping, and I was pulling them up.
Wait,
Yeah.
so what were you looking up as a kid, Dom?
Next question.
Yeah. She pleads the fifth.
That's funny. My family and I used to share like a laptop.
Yes. Oh
We
gosh.
would have
Yes.
a family laptop.
Perfect.
And there's definitely moments like that would happen.
What
Wow.
were yours?
I think you could assume.
Yeah. I,
Mine were just, gosh, I'm just exposing everything. Mine was like boys having fun. But like, I didn't know, like, and I was like, I just want to know. I just want to know
Yeah.
what that means.
Yeah.
And then
you learned real quick what
and
it
I was like,
meant.
oh,
Oh yeah.
it all makes sense. And if anyone has any, questions about my sexuality, they sure know now. So yeah. I mean, it was obvious from the get.
I wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, I love to be mysterious. But it's just true. Scorpio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever like? Do
Yeah.
you ever like tell yourself you're like, I'm gonna be so mysterious this year, and then I just like overshare everything? Do you do that?
Well, I'm doing it right now. Yeah. Like I would love to think that I do withhold a lot of information about like my personal life. But yeah, there's moments where I'm like, I need to stop talking.
Should I have said that?
Yeah.
I think on the first day of like the job that I started, I think I shared that I got stood up the other day. Like that was
Yeah.
the first thing we talked about was I got stood up, and I was
At
like,
your
yes, and I was like, why did I bring? I was like, why
At your
did I
job?
just tell her that. Yeah, I was.
Or you're like a
first day
manager?
with the owner, and I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, we were just talking, and I was like, I
Just
got
went
stood
into
up
it.
the other day. And
Yeah.
she was like, oh my god, and we got into that, and I was like, wait, why did I share? Like, why did?
But do you think that's good though?
Why did I share
That
that?
we kind of tap into like that little level of vulnerability like right
we
away?
Make it
more
comfortable here.
personal?
It's very safe here, and
Yeah.
then everyone gets to learn about us.
Period.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
honestly.
the thing too. That's what I'm like. We're always going back and forth about like, should we have put that in? Should we have put that in? Should we edit that out?
It's kind of like a double-edged sword a lot of the times because there is so much power with keeping information to yourself. And there's not everything needs to be shared. I think that's like a personal opinion on my
same.
end.
But there also is the fact that like people do see it.
Which is scary to think about.
I know.
It's also
Well, to be
terrifying.
perceived or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this
Or
is going to
to-
be up there forever.
Just to like,
Right. I forgot about that. It's a time capsule.
yeah. So it's
Right,
just
yeah.
like, do I want my future like partner.
Spouse.
Yes.
Or like, do I want my siblings
Didn't hear this.
knowing about like
that's
certain
even
things? Or like,
Yeah.
my mom is an avid listener, so I'm like, do I want her to listen to that?
Right. We're not going to tell her
Should
what
we
was
edit
on
that
the computer, family
Edit that out.
computer.
Edit that out.
Yeah. That is so
So
funny.
yeah, balance of always like what to share. But I think that's the beauty of like having a platform like this, and then that just again shows like who kind of we are as people.
Have you
of,
guys seen like
opening up?
Yeah.
Like, being able to open up.
Yeah. Have you guys seen like growth in that way that like by starting this podcast, you've kind of like allowed yourself to be a little bit more vulnerable?
That was
You know,
good. That was a good
well,
question.
I'm just curious
This
because
is our
like
podcast.
Yeah.
we're right.
You're fired, actually.
No, tell me.
This is our podcast.
Yeah, right. No, look who's taking over. No, but really, I mean, has it been like
Yeah.
therapeutic in a lot of ways?
What do you think? Yeah. What about you?
I think it has been. I've definitely like, I don't know, I've gotten a lot more comfortable just like myself.
Yes.
Like, okay, just to edit these videos back is just like weird.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Huh?
like I have to perceive myself even more than I already perceive.
Like 100 times over.
Yeah, because like I forget about a lot of the things I say just because I have ADHD, like actual diagnosed ADHD.
Yes.
And it's just like, I'm like, I can't believe I say like I talk like that. I say that I said that. You know, like why would I say it like that? It's a lot to take in sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of fun. Like I like the idea of like people going back when I'm a lot cooler, like in my 30s, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, this is what she started off as. You know, like so like I think it's nice to like have like documented history.
100%.
No, yeah, same. I think like again, I'm not like for the most part. I feel like I'm a private person. Like I don't share too much, just because.
I think you share a right amount
I'm
from an
very-
outside, from my perspective.
Okay, cute.
Yes.
Just because I'm super like protective and like superstitious about like who I allow to like have my energy and like who I share that with. Stop! Did you hear that she said that the other day on the podcast? She meant to say master manifester.
And it was
She was like,
manipulator.
I was like,
Well,
are you trying to tell me something?
if the boot fits. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Toy Story reference.
But yeah, yeah, I think it's just like finding that balance of like who I allow. Just because for the most part, I do like to share things with people. Like I'm pretty open. Like again, like I met the owner of that job, worked with her that first day, and we started talking about
How you got
how
stood
I got
up.
stood up.
Yeah.
So like that just shows you like if you like are the same like energy, then like I'll open up. But like I'm pretty intuitive about who
For
who I
sure.
allow.
Yes.
Yeah, and it has to be like I don't know. It's just like an intuitive thing. Like I just feel it in my gut.
And that is more so like in-person interactions or like online too?
Honestly, both. I think with this podcast, like going back to your question, it has helped for me to be like, you know what? Let me share this. Like, I don't have to keep this all like to myself or like
Correct.
save it.
Yeah.
Yes, people are gonna perceive it on it at the end of the day. Like, not a lot of people are gonna like it or even like watch it. But like, as long as I'm being like my full, authentic, 100%
Yes.
self, and I know like at the end of the day that I did that, then it's like,
Well, then you did your part.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And however, I mean, it's not your responsibility to, guide or dictate how others feel or how they, interpret things or how they digest things. And so it's just like, you just kind of have to, operate as you, I don't know, will, as you please.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this
exactly.
podcast, I feel like, has opened that
Yes.
idea of like allowing that energy to flow a little bit more. Just because I was always super protective of it. I still am, but I feel like now being able to like share experiences and talk about things with people more, it allows me more to be like
Yes.
in my day to day and like on social media too,
Yep.
and not just through this platform. So yeah, good question, Phil.
Well, of course.
This is our
of course.
podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
This is our podcast.
Yeah, just put it right here.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, listener, thought we lost you for a second.
Can you hear us now?
We're still keeping this just between us, right?
We're just making sure. Now that we have your attention again, let's get back into the episode.
So, Phil,
Yes. Oh my gosh.
where the fuck couch?
Yeah.
We're just getting into it. Yeah. Okay. That couch, I actually have no idea because I just posted a sign saying, take it, please take it. Our couch. Yeah. I'll definitely live with that one.
You won't hear the end of that
Take
one.
it to the grave.
Yeah. And I assume full, responsibility for that, right? I did not even connect with you guys. I just kind of sent it, and I was like,
Shame on you.
F them,
I even was telling her, I was like, get the couch. I was like,
Oh.
but keep the couch.
Yeah.
Text him to keep the couch.
and no text.
And
Yeah.
I don't
That
have
fell
space
through.
for it.
Speaking of
So-
space, since we're holding space this season, this holiday season,
What are you holding space for?
perfect. I am holding space for, community.
Oh, yeah. And this is why you're perfect on this podcast.
Perfect. Yes. No, I don't know what I'm holding space for. I'm holding space for giving yourself grace during this busy time.
Yep.
There's your cuss word. And the reason why I say that is because just the world in general is so demanding of our time and attention that giving yourself grace is something that I push even on myself and then others so much because why are we running ourselves into the ground?
Literally.
And for what? Sometimes.
For what?
And that also kind of reminds me that when you text me, bless you, because I do not text you back.
That's okay. And I don't text people back either.
Right.
People get mad at me for that.
And I think
It takes us 3 to 4 business days
even
to
text each other.
return.
I like your guys' style though,
Yeah.
because that's my style. I think that's what we can hold space for is not texting people back because I don't want to text people back.
Me
I'm
too.
tired of it. That podcast, that's another podcast that I listen to. Well, not really, but the two older ladies where they say what they've had it with.
Oh, yes. I've
yes.
seen them.
Yes. I've had it with people demanding that I text them back within the hour.
No.
real.
Being that I own a
busy.
business, and I know that there's going to be some business questions here, but I just have to tiptoe into this real quick. When someone is looking for a reschedule on their booking, so they message me on Instagram, and I don't respond within the hour, so they call me, right? And don't answer the phone call because I was like, they can leave a message. And then they leave a message, and then they text me again, and then they send me an email. And I'm like, okay, I got it. You're looking for a reschedule. Give me a sec, And then sometimes I don't even respond, and I just do the reschedule without even responding. I'm like, I don't have time.
I can't
Don't have
even imagine what it takes to run a full working studio.
yeah.
And again, we will get into that.
Yes, we will.
But that is good that you're holding space to just.
Yeah, I'm sprouting grays left and right. After I turned 28, I just turned 28.
How is that?
Good.
You turned 22,
So you are.
22. Yeah, literally. People do think I'm so young. It's so great.
Yeah, we are gonna be 21, 22 forever.
As you will, yes. I mean, you guys are very youthful just in your spirits, but then just your aesthetic
As
too.
you
I mean,
too,
good
yeah.
skin, good skin. 28 was good. It was kind of anticlimactic, and anytime that the birthday does roll around, the depression kicks in. And especially during November because my
Yeah.
birthday's November 3rd. And Scorpio, yes, and
that's
so.
okay.
And that's okay.
It's okay.
Slur. I'm a Scorpio and I'm proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you should be.
Yes.
With caution.
But with caution, I might cut it, but it's fine. Yeah. No, but anyways. Anyway. Where was I going with that?
Birthday.
Birthdays.
Yes.
Depressed.
Oh, depressed. Well, and it comes with the seasonal depression, right? Because
Yeah.
November, it's dark at 3 p.m.
I think this is our 5th episode of us talking about birthdays. I think it's just because it keeps landing like that. Because my birthday was in October.
Yes.
And I was feeling the same way. As I always do every year, I always get that weird, I cry every year
Yes.
on my birthday. It's just always
How do
a
we change that?
thing. I don't know.
Guys, I don't know.
I
They
don't
need
know.
to make a pill for it. It would sell wonders.
Just take
I
this
would
pill
buy it.
when the clock strikes 12 and you'll have 24 hours of
Yes,
bliss.
Please.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
It's an antidepressant.
It literally is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
that I could utilize those sometimes.
Yeah. I'm maybe that's just what it is.
Yeah.
That we need.
So do you celebrate birthday as well?
I do.
Well, you do celebrate your birthday, yes.
I
Yeah.
just I didn't this last year just because I got so busy, and then the year before that, I've had weird people in my life that I wasn't allowed to celebrate a lot of things. I'm doing better now.
'Kay.
I'm doing so much better. This
Good.
year I'm celebrating and I'm going all out for my birthday.
When's your birthday?
In July. It's July 9th.
Okay, July 9th.
I'm a Cancer.
Ooh.
I'm a crybaby.
That's, I mean, water signs stick together.
We really
Libra?
do.
Libra.
Yes. The astrology of it all. I really don't know much about it, but
Me either.
I'm like, I just know the
basics.
who to stay away from. I'll tell you what.
Leos.
So I work at a retail store, and when I'm talking about my theatrical self, I was like, well, how do I make these people my friends? You know, like
Yeah.
instant. Like I don't know how
You have to
people
make
make
it fun.
Well,
Yes.
exactly. I was like,
Retail is boring.
yes, and so I was like, what better way to then put on a show? So we were in the back room, and I put on Buttons by the Pussycat Dolls, and I did a whole on, not full strip tease, like it was a strip moment without the clothes
At A or
being
L?
L,
Oh.
the L store, yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I earned so many friends that way. Because, like, what I did was, you know, I, like, sat on the chair, and then I had my legs go up, and I did a heel clack and everything. It was great. And that's how I make
And
friends.
you didn't record it and send it to us?
No, everyone was, because all my other coworkers were like, Phil, do it for us at the staff meeting. And I was like, we'll see. And I never did.
love that.
Yeah.
Wait, that kind of like gets into like kind of my next question or our
Mm-hmm.
next question is just like maybe like in 3 to 4 words or even sentences,
Yes.
like who is Phil? Like if
Wow.
strangers obviously like are listening.
Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah. Well, in a couple sentences.
just
Not
introduce
to be taken
yourself.
seriously. Loves a good joke.
Okay.
Spontaneous.
Fun.
A lot of spontaneity. Creative as well.
For sure.
And I feel like, I don't know, I'm just for the people. I think, yes.
Thank you.
Very American in that way. No, but I really do just love like human connection and just like making friends and just like in being genuinely interested in people's lives. I find it like there's so much value in just getting to know someone,
Yeah.
right? Because I mean, stepping outside of yourself, shifting your perspective, and you know, seeing life in another way is something that's really fun for me. And so, like, just casual talk, you know, with friends, is something that I really enjoy a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
same.
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So thank you for this podcast, honestly, because
Thanks
I'm
for
like,
joining.
I simultaneously get to know about you both too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, like Phil, you have no idea the journey it took us because we toured a different studio. We were like, okay, maybe we should film here, maybe we should film here, maybe we should just film at my
yeah,
house.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there were like a bunch of options that we were juggling, but thank you so much for giving our podcast a home.
Well, you're so welcome. Well,
Again,
thank
like,
you,
so
thank
much.
you.
Lighthouse Studio, I'll edit that in.
You're so welcome. You know, and that's the reason. I don't know if it's too soon to jump into it, but like that's the reason why I created the studio.
No,
Yeah.
Right,
No,
is-
and yeah, that's actually
Yeah,
what we're gonna
yeah.
jump
Oh,
into
perfect, perfect. Love a good segue. But it really was the definition as to like why the space was created in the first place. Right, it was one, human connection. Right, you know, how can like-minded individuals come and create or gather under one roof? Where it's safe, where it's clean, where it's positive, right? And so for you to feel that right off the bat is something that like was so comforting to hear, right? Because, you know, Mikey had, reached out to me. He was like, Phil, you know, I'm just kind of toying with this idea. Let's like meet for coffee, right?
Yeah.
And Mikey had shown me a video of you just like at the other studio, right? And just like not happy, right?
we were
It just didn't resonate with you.
Yeah.
And so he had shed light on the fact, you know, when you had visited this space, it shifted something, right?
Yeah.
And that is like just the core at which like I want everyone to feel when they walk into this space is like safe and secure and creative, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'm so grateful that you get to have a space here because I mean that's the reason why the space was created. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like we really appreciate you.
yeah,
Phil,
of
truly.
course. Yeah,
I know. I've been a huge fan of the studio because how long has it been open?
4 years.
Wow. Does it
Well-
feel like 4 years?
It does. It
Yeah,
does.
does
Well, it feels a lot longer,
It
to be
feels
honest.
longer?
Yeah. Owning your own business will expedite so much.
All the
All the things. Yeah. No, but I say it in such a joking way, but I mean, it's been the journey. It has been a journey of 4 years. So many highs, right? You know,
What
there's
are some like highs that like
Well-
when you look back on these like 4 years, like what are some like moments where you're like,
well, the business
this
was
is what makes
created.
it, like worth it, or like this is like why I continue.
Correct. Yeah. Well, the business was created in 2020 in the midst of where
COVID,
no one
baby.
really knew what the heck was going on
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Right. And so, you know, starting from that and immediately seeing the positive response from the community here in Albuquerque is, or was like so impactful in a lot of ways. You know, we were I had a foreign business partner when this space was created. And we quickly outgrew our 300 square foot space, like right off the bat. Right. And so, you know, we kind of made that jump to the space that we're in now. It's 1,400 square feet. So it's a lot bigger.
So beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. It's a lot larger, but every day I get to see, you know, the creations that come from the studio. You know, Instagram is a means where, you know, the space kind of operates out of a lot of the times. And so I get to see all these like creative projects that people get to outlive. And it's weird, right? And we were talking about being perceived. It's weird being perceived because I humbly say that like people know Lighthouse and me being attached to it, right?
Yeah.
And so like, you know, I'm at a restaurant. They're like, "Are you Phil who owns Lighthouse?" And I'm like, "Yes." And so, yeah, well, people at an Italian restaurant here. I'm keeping it vague,
In
but
Small Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, yeah, yeah, I know, right? I'm like,
Wait,
don't look.
I want to know. I will take it out.
What, a restaurant?
Yeah. And what happened?
Well, I was like, she was like, "I love the space," and I was
Oh.
like, "No, it was just something so casual,
okay.
right?" So I was like,
You're on me.
"Yeah, I'm not in trouble or anything, yeah." But like, or there's just like random people that I like just, you know, stumble across, you know, while I'm at work, you know, in my other retail jobs,
How
right?
does that feel?
Like being noticed.
Yeah.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
You know, because I like, yeah, similar to what we were talking about earlier of like being private and not. Like I do feel like I'm pretty private, so like to be like seen is kind of
Yeah.
wild, right?
Yeah.
And to own a business and have everything kind of like fall on you,
Yeah.
like the success of the studio all relies on me,
Yeah.
right? And so it's just wild. It's very wild. Yeah.
It's hard to be private in a public eye.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and I think you're doing really good at it. Very mysterious.
Well, and two, it's like it's a balance too, because I think there's a lot of value in letting your audience know who they're supporting.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's a huge thing for me to do. And I don't pop in as much as maybe I want to in terms of like my online social media presence. But there's a lot of value in it because, like I said, people know who they're giving their dollar to, right? You know, you vote with your dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something that I've, you know, kind of understood the importance of is just like, okay, you know, I'm going to let people know that I'm just Phil, you know, with, you know, I own a Volkswagen and, you know, I have a cat at home, you know, I'm just so like normal. Like I want to like kind of like
Yeah.
humanize myself in a lot of ways. I'm not like this like wizard behind the curtain at
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz, you know, kind of thing.
Okay.
You know?
How does it feel to have literally a COVID baby? Like you got a
You have a
4-year-old.
COVID
You got a
baby.
Yeah, it was 9 months showing.
What are some like I know we talked about some of like the successes or like highlights of starting this. What are some like maybe like failures or
Yeah.
even just like
well,
losses?
yeah.
or
anything
things
that you're comfortable sharing.
yeah, for
anything
sure.
like where you look back on and where you're like, oh, are you learned
Yeah.
from that lesson?
Oh my gosh. Well, every day is a learning experience,
sure, yeah.
right? But more specifically, I mean, there's been questionable choices in terms of like, you know, paint colors and things like that. So that's on a lighter note. I'm like, wow, that was a choice.
Yeah.
Like in our
for this like
is that you hate that color?
no, I love. This
Oh, okay, you
color.
love it. Okay,
You're
perfect.
saying-
But when I talk about the growth of the business, you know, the first 2 years, you know, I was with my business partner, and we kind of operated, you know, that space together, and then made the jump into this space, right? And then I believe it was in 2020. Oh gosh, the years fly by. 2, I think it was, when my business partner decided to, you know, end their role in the business and go kind of venture out into something else, right?
Yeah.
And that was a huge shift.
Yeah, from like having a partner to like doing it alone. That's hard to do.
It was hard, and it happened very suddenly too. Yeah. It was kind of presented where it was like, Phil, I'm gonna leave the business to you, and it was it was very, very exciting and very overwhelming in a lot of ways too, right? Yeah. And that transition from a partnership to just a solo entrepreneur was a lot, because there was parts of the business, and I'm being transparent, that I really didn't know. I will say that like the day of the signing, where like I signed full ownership of the business, was honestly the worst day of my life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was, after like a couple hours, after I signed that paper, and wrote the check for my business partner, I said I made the biggest mistake ever.
Why?
Because
Were you scared?
I was scared. I was scared. And in full transparency, when I bought out my other half, right, there was no money in the account.
Ooh, that's scary.
And then rent was like 4 days, after the signing, which wasn't good planning on my part. And so I was stressed. I just remember crying every day, and it took like literally, like it took like a month for me to like snap out of it. Like, I'm gonna have to just like roll my sleeves up, get dirty, because like, again, the success or failure of the business relies on me now.
Yeah.
And so proud of myself. It's hard for me to like say that I'm like proud of myself sometimes, right? That like I did that. Like did. I had $0 in that account, and now I don't. Now
he's rich. Robin.
And I'm sitting on a pile of money right now. I'm just joking. It just comes out of my pockets. No, but
you get $1.
A lot of people are confused that I have 2 retail jobs while simultaneously owning the studio.
Oh, wait, that's right.
Here's the thing. It's just like, I want the money that comes in for Lighthouse to go back to Lighthouse. Right? Sure, I'll give myself a check now and again.
Yeah,
but that's why I have 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Right? It's because like I want to support my life without Lighthouse being, correct. Which is kind of wild. I don't know if that's like smart, but
I think it makes perfect sense.
I feel like there's no like wrong. To each their own.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm a little crazy. I'm very tired. You know. But it's
single mom, works 2 jobs, who
literally
loves her kid.
Get blinded by the monetary side of it, right? It's like, okay, first I have to like see this out first,
and
right?
It's important to talk about too, and I think that's why having this platform, one of like my biggest things that I wanted to bring to it was to bring small business owners on,
for sure,
and to talk about those things, because I've worked for a few small businesses, and they all have those same questions of like, I wonder what the next person, like how they're operating, why they're doing so good, why they aren't doing so good, like what their numbers are looking like, and how they're able to pay their employees and like still make money for themselves. So having you on and having this conversation is like so important. I know a lot of people will benefit from it. A creative.
Yes.
Was that like one of the reasons why you wanted to open a studio, like for photography?
For sure.
I'm assuming. Is
yeah.
that why?
Yeah. Being a photographer myself, there was.
What has that like journey been like, being a photographer? When did that even start?
Photography well, golly. I remember having this like Android phone, like my first smartphone. I don't even remember what it was called. I think it was called like it's irrelevant what it's called, actually. It's an Android. Yeah. But it had a good camera, I will be honest. And I was like, it was my first camera, like in 7th grade, or like my first phone in 7th grade. And I was like, I took a picture of a flower. I remember it was pink, okay, whatever.
Oh, wow, I'm really good.
And
She's really good.
And that was the thing, right? And I was like,
really good at this.
I had a moment. I held space for myself then. And I said, I can do something here.
So how did you get into portrait photography?
Well, and then, that is, I just, Instagram a long time ago, back in 2012, 12, they would have these like weekend hashtag projects or like that they would like incentivize, right? And so, for instance, they would do like hashtag, you know, like the reason why I'm bringing this up is, okay, they had hashtag like use with Flash or something. And if you use that hashtag, then Instagram would like go through all those hashtags and feature 9 artists from that challenge or whatever. And I had photographed my sister. She had like kind of like a vinyl record next to her face, and so like I wanted like the flash to like reflect that. And they featured my photo, and so that was fun. And so like that was like, oh well, portraits are not that scary. And so like that in itself like kind of like kickstarted. Leading with just what is calling me is just what I'm just planning on doing.
As a creative, as like a business owner, whatever.
Yes. Just seeing what calls me, and I'll answer maybe. Yeah.
Nice.
I might put the phone down. I don't know.
So yeah, thank you so much.
Yes,
for joining
thank
us
you
today.
guys. I appreciate you.
Even bigger thanks again, Phil, for giving our podcast a home. You
Oh my
really
gosh.
Like this podcast.
Anytime.
Yeah,
You can create this bed right here if you want. I'll bring your couch back. I promise. Maybe.
okay.
Yeah. It's probably in the trash.
I already cut ties with it. I already like made my
Mourned
peace.
it.
Yeah.
Like, put a bunch of sage in here. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
There's some
Clean
bad
this
energy in here. He got rid of our couch.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Can't wait to have you again.
Oh.
Thanks.
Look forward to it.
Big thanks overall again for like letting us use the space.
Being our
and
first guest.
Of course.
providing a space for other creatives, photographers, even just to host events.
Yeah.
I think your drive for like connection and human connection and creativity shows through the social media, through like what I see and
Yeah.
you as a person and getting to know you personally. So
Yeah.
It's great to have you on the podcast.
You guys are
today.
great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Phil. As always, we love you. Mwah. Bye, guys.
Thanks for letting me talk about it.
Of course, being vulnerable is always allowed here.
I have to go, but can I call you next week?
Yeah. And remember, it stays between us.